We are back on another video blog. It's been just over a week since I last updated. It is now Friday the 26th of May, just one day out from show day. The PCA Welsh qualifier for the PCA British in 2 weeks time. So a little update on prep. Prep has been amazing from one show to the next. It's been quite challenging straight back on it, but I've definitely seen some good changes. My body's been responding well, and I'm around half a stone lighter than I was on stage with NABBA Wales just 3 weeks ago, and condition dramatically improved, balance, deeper separation. Still could probably be better, but I'm happy I've kind of achieved what I wanted this year, although I haven't competed yet. I mean, compete in the rest of the shows. I've reached that level of condition that I probably never had, and I've seen my body in a light I've never saw it. And that was my plan this year. Just hopefully get the show in now on stage where it matters the most. Because like I mentioned in the last block, we did miss a bit of the peak for the last show, which was unfortunate really. But at the same time, the people around me, people that matter the most, got to see a glimpse of what could be. So I'm thankful for that, and like I said, I'm excited and already looking forward to the show come tomorrow, which is bizarre because time does go fast. But in the time of bodybuilding, you can do a lot in very little time. So since my last update, obviously we did a trial run last week, where we kind of reduced the carbohydrates through the week, up to water and up to vitamin C. And then we kind of junk loaded for 2 hours Friday night after we dropped the water. Kept the water out. Saturday, kept the carbs out, kept the water out. And then another McDonald's with a Diet Coke, around an hour and a half to 2 hours to the time I would be on stage. Then I met up with James and we assessed the look and the look that we could potentially be bringing to the PCA stage. Went perfectly, to be honest. Definitely the best I looked to date. Obviously my body fat was kind of where we wanted it, so we had some room to play around. We could have, we weren't really trying to chop away any more fat, so we could experiment a little bit. And rather than do the night before the show when it can even go one way or the other, we decided to do a week out. We were a little bit concerned about potentially having a big water rebound, obviously from dropping the water and then putting in the McDonald's and the cake and the muffins and the cookies and the brownies and everything else you got a chance to see me eat. But fortunately enough, I didn't have a rebound. I was straight back on my zero carbs on that day. I went training legs to help control that water rebound. The next day I was back on 2 hours of cardio, zero carbs, and I was actually starting to lose weight through the week and looking significantly drier and tighter, which was good really. It put me in a really good position for this week, and I think just doing that alone let me chisel away a little bit of the remainder of fat, definitely around my glutes and then stubborn areas. So my body tends to like to hold on to it for a while, and all of a sudden it just shocks and it comes out. At the moment my metabolism is through the roof. One day I put a few pounds on from taking the carbs up high, and I look really full, and within a few hours or even the next day I'm back empty, dry, a couple of pounds lighter and very depleted. So we've just been playing this week by ear. We put in I think it was 300 grams of carbs on Tuesday, 450 on Wednesday, 300 grams on Monday because like I said, I was just dropping weight. Then we up to 450 on Tuesday. Wednesday we dropped them back down to 250. Yesterday to 200. And today I'm just waiting back to hear back from James. The game plan. Last week we put in 100 grams on the Friday, so I'm guessing it's going to be the same today. It's not going to be anything excessive because obviously we've got this evening to put the junk load back in, which we're going to mimic everything I did last week. We're going to mimic to the T this week. So exactly the same, even as far as last week, the time I had my deep tissue massage on Wednesday was the same time this week. The time I did my steam room therapy last Thursday was the same time this week. Water's going to be kept creeping up the same, so I'm on 9 litres today, all drunk before 7 p.m. Kept the salt the same time, and obviously going to start the junk loading the same time, which was good really because my body tolerated it well. Once we restricted the water, my stomach was didn't have any bloat, and I felt like I could eat a lot of food, although it was all timed. I wrote everything down, made notes, even calculated how many grams of carbs, protein and fat was in each meal, in each serving. I had, I can't remember it exactly, it is written down. I think it was in a 2-hour period. I had close to 700 grams of carbs, and fats were quite excessive, they were around 300 grams. And then obviously kept the carbs out for the day and put another burger and chips and Diet Coke on the next day. So quite a lot of food, my body tolerated it well. The only thing we're going to change slightly than we did last week is going to change 1 or 2 of the food choices in the night, just so it's a little bit easier for me to eat. So last week I think I had half a dime tart for the second meal after obviously McDonald's. Then I had a muffin. It was meant to be 2 muffins, but I had a muffin, 2 cookies, some brownies, and then I repeated the same then, but it was just too difficult to eat. The muffins were just too dry, along with the cookies and the brownies. So this evening what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep the same, 2 burgers and fries, 9:30 and 10:30. I'm going to have half a dime because that's gluten free, my body tolerates it well, and it's very light and easy to eat. I can eat half of that cake, 200 grams, and it's just quite easy. Then I'm going to have 2 muffins, but rather than have the cookies and the brownies, what I'm going to do, it's all weighed out, so I'm going to have some jam and bananas mashed up in a bowl. And I'm either going to mash the muffins up in there, so the wetness of the jam and the bananas is just going to make it a little bit easier to eat, or I'm just going to paste the muffins up and get them in, so that's going to be very yummy. And then the next serving, then what I'll do, again I'll have the other half of the dime. I won't have any muffins this time, but I'll have more brownies. Obviously the brownies are a little bit more higher in fat, a little bit more dairy, so not too many of them in 2 servings, but I will have brownies before bed, with some more banana and the turkey breast and the peanut butter, just to help me dry out a little bit. The banana's going into that meal just to make the turkey and the peanut butter easy to eat, because last week obviously I've restricted my water up until this point, or would have been up to that point since 5 hours prior, so it just makes everything harder to eat. So the banana will just help the turkey go down. The brownies are easy to eat again, and again I've aimed for the same amount of carbs that I had last week, so I've worked out everything will be weighed, even the banana will be weighed, so I'm having exactly the same amount of carbohydrates over that 2-hour period. Fats will be slightly lower because obviously I'm excluding things like the cookies and the muffins, and I'm putting in more fruit, so carbs a little bit higher, fats a little bit lower, but that's fine anyway. What we might need to do, we might have to put more food in the day, because what we did notice when I paused with James at 4 o'clock is I was looking really full and tight and dry, and then I started smoothing over slightly, which is a sign that I was just starting to flatten out. So my muscles were getting very flat and not quite protruded to the surface, giving me that flat, watery look. So like I said, my metabolism is through the roof, so we might have to put some more food in on the day, maybe a couple of muffins along with my McDonald's, which Sounds bizarre because here I am, hardcore bodybuilder, don't cheat on my diet, strict all the time, 100% or nothing, everything weighed to the gram, even in the off season. And here I am the night before the show, eating McDonald's and muffins. But at the same time, for me, it's all about the result. And this isn't something that I feel like, oh, you know, I really want to do. And it's, well, it is kind of what I do because I want to get the result. But I mean, it's a necessary part of what we're working out as a formula for me. And I think so far, it's definitely working. I know I've done something similar in the past. And every time I've competed, the look I've presented has been a little bit soft look, watery, and to the eye, like I haven't dieted as hard. But then the people around me, my wife, myself, and we're not deluded, we're very honest. No, that's not the case, because we've seen it the next day after the show looking drier and tighter, or even a few days before, or even a few days afterwards. So to me, that tells me that I've just always been a little bit flat. I've never come in. I don't think I've ever overspilt once. Even if the look has been overspilt, it's more been depleted and not quite full enough. My muscle bellies really need to be bursting for me to see that fullness. But at the same time, what we've noticed over the course of this week and last week is when I've increased my water intake, like yesterday I was on 8 litres of water, that was really making my muscles pop. And last week when I was drinking my 9 litres, although the carbohydrates were low, my muscles were full, my veins were out and very vascular. So James we're gonna play around with something for the next show. Obviously we've got this show tomorrow, the PCA Welsh, so we're going to use this protocol because we know it definitely made me look better. But for the next show, I think we're going to play around a little bit with something different because he seems to think that we haven't quite worked out that formula. We're coming close, but he seems to think the water needs to be kept in high along with the salt. And he seems to think my body looks better really with the carbohydrate source low, with the water high. But again, we know this kind of work last time to make me better. We will assess obviously the results in terms of the look we bring to the stage this weekend, and then we got a week then to pull it in, hopefully not have too much of a water rebound, and then get back on and maybe try something different. It's all exciting because for me it's all about trial and error. That's why I like to do a few shows this year. I did 4 shows last year. I did the NABBA Wales, then I did the NABBA Britain, I did the PCA Amateur show and a PCA British finals. And every show I did a different protocol, a different carbon up, a different water manipulation protocol. And each time I learned kind of what worked and what didn't. Obviously I've been competing a while, but my body's tricky. Some people just, you can run them in. My body, one day, it can look significantly different from the next. So one day it can be really full and bursting, and the next day it can be really flat, watery. So for me, I think it's all about peaking the timing right. And it's happened many times where, you know, I've looked absolutely at my best, you know, the day before the show, like everybody says. But this isn't coming off, I'm not deluded, like I said, it isn't coming off what I'm seeing, it's coming off from the trusting eyes I see around me, the people who are honest, and they know where they're looking at, you know. I'm quite fortunate enough to be around some very respectful people in the industry that have a brutally honest opinion, and their opinion always matters. So if they say, you know, you're looking dry and sharp and you're ready, then you can count on their view then, you know. And it's the same with my wife, she'll never tell me what I want to hear. Sometimes in fact she'll say something and not really realize the effect of what she's saying or what the impact it's having, because that's not her intention, but she's just very honest. So like I said, I've never really nailed that so far, and and again, it's just because my body's a little bit tricky. But this year, I feel like we're coming close. The overall package I'm bringing is 100% better than I've ever brought. My overall balance. I'm actually going to be lighter on stage tomorrow than I've probably been for a very long time. But I guarantee I will look bigger. Just because my waist is nice and tight. Everything is a bit more balanced and flowing. My tie-ins are better. Again, there's some issues that I know need potentially more work. My glutes are through more than ever been, but again, we're all chasing that really dry, hard, granite-looking glute, which probably is going to take me more time. But from where it is now, I'm really happy. My quads and separations coming better. It could always be better, but again, that's what we've got to work for the next time. So anywho, we're going to close it down. I will do another vlog. I probably won't do one this evening because all you're going to see me doing, if I did, was mimicking what I did last week, which was eating the same food and enjoying it. I'll start tanning up this evening using liquid sun rays. I got the lotion, the mousse, my wife will put it on. We'll have a couple of coats of that this evening, starting at 9:30. So I'll go to the gym around 7:30, do a really aggressive posing workout, just really deplete all the muscles. Quick shower at the gym, McDonald's on the way home, bring it home with me. My wife will tan me up 2 coats of liquid sun rays mousse about 9:30, and then I'll have another 2 coats on about 11 o'clock. Pop to the gym in the morning, just a quick rinse in the shower. Obviously we go to the gym so we avoid making the bath nice and brown. And then I'll go over and see James and then get to the venue then down in Port Talbot. So like I said, I won't really do any more video blogs. I might do one tomorrow in the day. If not, I'll definitely do one either tomorrow evening or Sunday with a little update of how things went. I'll try and get some videos and images of the show, some pictures I'll put up on these blogs. So then you can see obviously how I'm looking. And boom, yeah, I'm excited. So let's do this. #bull mode, keep watching. Hope you enjoy it.